are at the Fringe, back at the Edinburgh Street Food Market with...
Oh, my name's Matt Hale and I'm a hypnotist.
And you've travelled quite far to get to the Fringe today. Where are you from originally?
Well, originally, I'm actually from Hertfordshire in the UK, but I've spent like last 25, 30 years almost in Western Australia, in Perth. So I live in what's classed as one of the world's most isolated cities. So, yeah, I'm not normally as local to Edinburgh as I am today.
And did you always know you were going to be a hypnotist? Was that the dream?
No,
Is that why you went to Oz?
It's really funny because I've had a couple of... I'd say this is my third career and probably my longest serving career. So I started out as a DJ. I used to DJ dance music, house music. And that was I started DJing when I was 15, did that full time. Once I left school, worked all over Europe and ended up doing that to my mid-20s, then went into breakfast radio in the UK, and then ended up in breakfast radio in Australia, and then took a year off. Always been fascinated with the mind, and saw a couple of hypnosis shows, and I thought, it looks like a bit of a life, I can probably do that. And I thought, maybe, let's see what happens. Let's put a show together and see what happens. So, and then it just snowballed. I never really planned it to be a career. I just thought, hey, it'd be good fun to do and see what happens. But, yeah, it's that's been what I've been doing professionally for the last 16 years. And we've done everything. We tour the world, we work on cruise ships, do TV, do all sorts of things, yeah.
What has been your favourite thing? What has been your standout then? So you've had a varied career. Through lots of performances. We met at college learning radio. So that's how we got together. So
I love radio. Like radio, I did 10 years doing breakfast radio, so feeling almost jet lagged for I did that professionally for a long time, and that was very fun, very exciting. You get to I was working for like a major station, which meant you end up meeting a lot of really amazing celebrities. So that's kind of cool when you kind of like hanging out, chatting to people you've seen on TV or movies or on hit songs and stuff like that. But yes, that was really good. But I mean, I've had so many things. Wouldn't say what's a highlight. One of my highlights is not even related to hypnosis, actually. I think it's more to my DJ career, but it actually happened in recent years. I still do DJ a little bit. But I got asked to be involved in a really big event called Symphony, which is actually, it's basically the classics of dance music with full orchestra, but we're talking like 60-piece orchestra in venues where, like for example, where the Rolling Stones are playing, that kind of thing. So suddenly, I'm on stage with all these people hyping up, 15,000 people, and so stuff like that's been really amazing. But the hypnosis has really taken me around the world.
Amazing. Speaking of the mix of classical and dance, I got into last year and it really bugged him for the longest time. I was finding all these classic songs that have had dance remix.
Right, okay, yeah.
And they were so cool. But occasionally I'd come up and be like, here, listen to this. And about Ave Maria would start playing, and 30 seconds in, there's just this nowhere bass line taking you right out.
Yeah, so, I think some of those can be done well and some can be just absolutely awful. Yeah.
I found some proper sinkers, but some ones I listened to today.
Right, okay.
And I appreciate that mix. And having, that experience of coming from DJ to radio DJ to breakfast to this is...
I do actually have a crossover... I call it an experience rather than a show, which we're not doing at Edinburgh this year. We'll try and bring it to Edinburgh maybe next year or in the following years. And I do perform at different festivals, and that's called the Clubnosis experience. And that's kind of a clash of my hypnosis and my club DJing, because it's a live 60-minute DJ set, but I wear a headset mic, and I'd say it's like a guided visualizations to dance music. Happens on the dance floor. I have custom visuals, and I'm basically kind of guiding people's imagination, their thoughts, along with the music they're hearing that I'm mixing. And so at some point people are like eyes closed, picturing on a beach, the music summary, and it's all those memories it elicits and take you back, and then open your eyes and it feels amazing. So we take on this kind of like guided journey which happens on the dance. It's very, I don't think there's anything really like it.
That's really cool.
That's a clash of two of my kind of things.
Speaking of the hypnosis, bringing it back to the show.
Oh yeah, we should talk about it.
Do you have I can't remember, it's like a Vegas magician skill thing where apparently they can like look at a crowd and kind of pick out who can be hypnotized?
No, not at all.
So you just give it a go and see if it's going to happen?
I have a open policy till I basically explain a bit about the show, because I think I do like to kind of hang on to this thing of like, it's the hypnosis show for people who don't like hypnosis shows, because it is so non-traditional. And so I kind of explained at the beginning of the show, it's going to be like this, it's going to be like this, and knock out all the old cliches, like it's not going to be like that. And so then I basically make an open invitation to whoever would like to take part. And so that by that point, people think, well, that does sound really good fun. So anyone can come up. I take up to 20, 25 people on the stage, and then from that point, I'm able to kind of like see from that group who's going to be good during that process. So I mean, there's obviously some people are very obviously not going to be good because maybe they had a bit too much to drink, and like as I'm asking for them to focus, they're still waving at their friends in the crowd. I'm like, this guy's going to be going soon. But it's not really until I start working and taking people through the process of relaxing and using their imagination that I can see if they're going to be able to kind of really go inward enough.
So you say it's a show for people who don't like hypnosis.
Well, I'd also say it's a show for people who love hypnosis as well. But I think hypnosis shows of old have been, quite cliched, and I'm so far away from what that looks like. Yeah.
But for people who are maybe a bit unsure, how does it work without giving away the magic?
Oh well, I mean that's the great thing is because there's no hidden secret to it. Everything that happens on the stage. You see what happens, and so I have a very easy explanation, which I kind of say it's focusing on a thought so much it starts to feel real in that moment. And if you think I don't know if that's possible, well, if you've ever watched a sad movie and you've cried real tears, the dog's not really dead, right? But at that moment, your brain makes it feel real. If you're watching a horror movie and you're like your heart's beating, it's physically made your heart beat faster. That monster's not real. The person's just not being about to stab. That. So, but your brain has that capacity to make something feel real in the moment. So that's the area I like to kind of bring out in people with their imagination. So we just work on a little bit to kind of get them to the point so they're not. If I say to you right now, get up and dance like such and such, and whatever, you might be a bit self-conscious, like, well, you're not here. So we get to people to the point of like, if you like, imagine you're holding this and you're doing this. That little voice which would ordinarily say, well, why would I do that? It's almost quieter, and you're suddenly like, oh, I'm doing it. If I can imagine it, I can feel it. I can picture how that would feel, and I'm doing it. So,
yes, absolutely. That's awesome. I've always wanted to be hypnotized, so you might find me in a show,
absolutely,
just at the front waiting for volunteers. I'll jump up early.
Yeah, well, you have to beat the rush to the stage. It's normally quite a rush, so
yes.
But make sure you
we'll be there.
And for anyone who's coming to the show or would like to come to the show, that is a good tip. But just be ready to get up because we can only take 20 people, and when we got close to 250 people in on some of those big nights, it's a bit of a rush to the stage.
Amazing. Now we are in Edinburgh Street Food in awesome Edinburgh for Edinburgh Fringe.
Yeah.
One question we're asking everyone, since they're nice enough to put us up here.
Yes.
If you could have any food in the world right now, what would it be?
I'll go ramen. Nice spicy ramen.
Well, they do it here. It's just over the corner.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we've got a bit of everything.
I think we're going straight after this chat.
There you are. We've sorted your dinner already. And we do have a couple more.
Yeah.
I can't remember. So that's all you.
So if you're looking for the ramen, they do have the QR code. You can order it and they'll bring it to you.
Well, that's nice.
So plug for them.
Good service.
So one thing we'd like to try and find out is why you bring your show to Edinburgh. There's so many fringes, there's so many things all over the world.
Yes.
There's even brilliant fringes in Australia.
Yep.
Why Edinburgh?
Just because I want to gamble a lot of money with the risk of losing lots. I want to remortgage my house with the possibility of years of pain. No, actually, the reason being is, look, we've been doing the, and when I say we, it's me and my manager, who's also my wife. We've been doing fringes for over 10 years now, and we've been doing the second and third biggest fringes in the world, which are in Australia.
Yes.
And we'd always wanted to do Edinburgh. We just couldn't think if there's a way of financially making it work. And everyone knows it is hard for an artist to make a season in Edinburgh work. Costs are so high. But we wanted to do it at least once. So we were very lucky that Gilded Balloons spotted us in Adelaide and went, wow, we think it'd be great. And so we did get offered a really good slot in a big room, and we kind of needed that to make our show work over a month. and make all the figures work if there's any chance. So we thought this is probably the best chance of doing it, and that was a few years ago. That was going to be our one-off. Now this is year 4.
Your Olympics, that was our thing for last year. Everyone was saying Edinburgh Fringe is the Olympics for performers. This is where you come when you are ready to go against the world. So
yeah, it is. Because it's funny, because you do have to think there's 3,500 shows. How do you get an audience when no one knows you?
Yeah.
And so you have to build that. I think over the last few years we were lucky to not lose money on our first one where we were expecting to, and that kind of gave us the impetus to go, right, let's go again. But I will tell you, like any artist will tell you, Edinburgh Fringe is not just the 26, 27 nights that you do in a row here. It starts 6 months before, and then you're down trying to market it, trying to get everything ready, rewrite the show, blah blah blah. Everything. So it's a hard slog, but when you're on the ground right now, it's so good.
A lot of people have said that you used to turn up to the Fringe with an idea and finish with a show, and now you've got to come with a show and finish with something
right
perfect.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I couldn't gamble on bringing a untested show. Actually last year was the very first time I'd ever debuted a show in Edinburgh. Normally I would debut a show at our home Fringe of Perth, in Western Australia, not Scotland, and and that is actually the third biggest Fringe in the world, so it is still a big Fringe. I normally debut there, so it's 30 nights there, take it to Adelaide, and then later in the year come to Edinburgh and do it with a fully formed show. But last year we actually decided to debut a show in Edinburgh, and so I ran a few test shows, some secret test shows back in Perth in Australia, and so I knew we had the core of the show was working, and then we brought it to Edinburgh, and so over the season last year, we really were able to kind of refine it. But we didn't come and go, hey, let's see what it works out like. We knew we had a show that was ready to debut, but over those 26, 27 shows we did last year, we really did kind of iron out the little kinks in it. So, and then we've been touring it since, and it went on to win a few awards.
Oh, amazing! Congratulations!
Yeah, thanks.
So we've got 2 more for you.
Yeah.
Firstly, where can people find you? When are you on? Where are you on socials? All the details for everyone.
Yeah, no worries. So on at 5 p.m. at Gilded and Patter House. So the Patter House hub, and we're in the very big room on the top. It's called Big Yin. But if you look at the Gilded Balloon website, anything like that, or just on Fringe, you'll find us. But 5 p.m. every day of the Fringe. And on socials, I'm at Hypno Hale across TikTok, Facebook, Insta, Blue Sky, everything. So, if you want to check out some silly videos, we've gone viral over the last year or so. So, got about 250 million views online. So,
awesome.
So some of those videos been pinging off. But and so they've got the same videos across whatever your favourite platform is.
So our last question. This is a tradition we've done for a couple of years now.
I'm not running around naked. I'm not doing that again. I'm not getting fooled twice.
That's more our thing.
Yeah.
So
we're not getting filled a 7th time. Come on.
Everyone we interview leaves an anonymous note for the next person.
Oh, okay.
So the last one was a bit rogue. He gave some suggestions on where to get food in Edinburgh.
Nope. It wasn't even recommendations. It was just, remember Wings exists, and the lamb at what was it, something house is tender, and if you're a veggie, Sainsbury's vegetables are really good.
Yeah. We'll call it recommendations.
Yeah, sure.
And we have given all advice and asked the questions. It doesn't matter what.
Yeah.
Afterwards, I can tell you some of the rogue ones we've been told.
Yeah.
So you can leave any bit of advice, motto, question, anything you want for the next
Statement.
person.
Okay. Be stupid always.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Absolute pleasure.